Newcastle citizens were bowled over on Saturday as the German far-right extremist group Pegida held their first UK demonstration in its city centre. However, this ignited an overwhelming display of solidarity from anti-supporters, who dwarfed their opponents 5-1. Their counter-demonstration marched from Gallowgate in Chinatown and concluded in the Big Market. Participants have celebrated the diversity of the crowd. It brought out members from the Miners Association and NUT, amongst others.
Whenever people try and come on our streets with messages of racism and hate, I will always be prepared to come and oppose them.
There was a heavy police presence. While there were 5 arrests, the demonstration was generally peaceful. The Patriotic Europeans Against the Islamization of the West, also known as Pegida, their demonstration was supported by members of the English Defence League, another far-right movement that opposes the spread of Islamism in the UK. The keynote speaker of the demonstration was parliamentary candidate Paul Weston.
It is so good to see this many people turning out for the first Pegida rally. Thank you so much for coming out. We are here because nobody else, really, who should be talking about the problems in this country, are talking about it. It shouldn't be down to us to come here and explain that although there are moderate Muslims in this country, Islam is not a religion of peace. It is.
However, on the other side of the line, the 3,000 strong, that also included Labour MP for Newcastle Central, Chion Wura, were met under the flag Newcastle Unites.
If you come here to tell us that our Muslim brothers and sisters are not a great, positive part of this great city, then I have another message for you. And that message is, get out of our city. The idea that there is one child in this city that thinks that wearing a hijab is not part of her right and of our city's pride. The idea that there is one child in the city that thinks that to study the Quran is not a welcome in Newcastle. That is obscene. That is wrong. We know that that is wrong.
Well, Newcastle United started in 2012. It was an anti-fascist organisation which fights against any sort of groups which want to come to Newcastle. Pegida obviously came to Newcastle. It was one of the biggest demonstrations, anti-fascist demonstrations the country has seen. Pegida obviously had a big platform because they were massive in Europe. They had 25,000 plus people in Germany for their demonstration. And their first demonstration was in Newcastle, in the UK. Their first demonstration was in Newcastle. So naturally, the international limelight was on there. So I took a lead through Newcastle United, and we said we're going to mobilise as many people as possible from different backgrounds. But we're not going to call it, a demonstration. We're going to call it a celebration of communities. As you can see, the West Road itself is very cosmopolitan, very multicultural. They've got people from all backgrounds. But unfortunately, there is still pockets of racism which exists in the communities, the likes of far right groups such as the EDL and now political groups like UKIP only help promote some of these hatreds in our community. So it still exists, but we've got a long way to go. And I think what we need to do is work hard with the communities and break some of those barriers.
To look at these issues on a more local level, we have come to Fenham to meet up with Daniel Johnson of the Islam Diversity Centre, an organisation that has been running in the local community to raise awareness about the issues facing the religion for the last 10 years.
I'm from an organisation called IDC, Islamic Diversity Centre. Our catchphrase is challenging stereotypes, removing misconceptions. That's what it says on my t-shirt, and that's what we're dedicated to doing, to promoting a better understanding of Islam, to remove misconceptions, to remove prejudice, to dispel myths by educating people about what our religion really teaches. Religious tolerance in Newcastle is quite good, I would say, in my experience, better than many places. Religious tolerance in the UK in general is still good, but this is a very precious thing and we have to be careful that we guard it and don't lose it. There are many forces on the far right, the political far right, and also some black sheep within the Muslim community who seek to undo the hard work that people have done over the decades to promote religious tolerance. And we have to be very careful that those people don't get their own way and smash this precious thing that we've built, which is religious toleration. It doesn't exist all over the world. We're very lucky to have it here in this country, so we have to be careful that we hold on to it.
The presence of far-right groups in Newcastle and in Britain are undeniable, even if their platform remains limited by the work of centres like the IDC and local authorities. The general opinion is that harmony between different cultures and faiths is still a long way off.
I think this community is very diverse, but I don't think it gets along very well. I don't know, everyone just keeps himself to himself kind of thing. And, I don't know, it'd be nice if there was a lot more interaction between different races. I don't know, I think it's just the misconceptions of different cultures that make it the way it is. Don't know.